Hello, guys. What's up? I'm Turtle. This is Turtle Talks. This is my talk show VOD podcast thing. It's everything. It's really whatever happens off the top of my head. So I haven't had a vlog up in about a month again. I tend to get these about once a month, and so this will be the December edition of my vlog. So I want to talk about what I've been doing, what I've been playing, what I've been watching, because I've watched quite a bit. I got a Roku for Black Friday, which is a Netflix streaming kind of device, and it hooks up to your TV, and so then you can have whatever you want to watch, Netflix, Hulu. It has Pandora. It has this one actually has YouTube. The one that we have for our living room doesn't have YouTube, so this is very nice to actually have YouTube available as an option. And there's a few other things, Blockbuster and stuff that I don't use at all. Netflix or Amazon Prime's thing you gotta subscribe for. That's like 99 bucks a year. So there's a few things that I don't have on it that I would like to have, but I just don't. But yeah, so Netflix. I've been watching a lot of stuff on Netflix. Been trying to get through. I have some stuff. This is background. Like while I'm playing video games, I have a few things like Pokemon that I push play and I'm not even paying attention. It's over there, way off, so I can't see it. And then I'm here playing games. And so there's a few things like that. You know, I've been watching. I watched all of Death Note in the last. It took maybe 2 weeks to get through all of it, and I rewatched it because I was suggested to my friend to watch it, and it's one of those animes that I think appeals to a lot of people, even though it's kind of it's kind of a gory anime. There's a lot to it, and it's but it makes you question your morals. It makes you think, and I think it's a really well done anime, and so it's really easy to recommend to a friend. If I have someone who isn't like super into anime but thinks anime is all for kids, I would recommend Death Note to them, thinking like, now you're gonna see like how violent action and kind of suspense thriller an anime can be. That's one example. There's other animes I would highly recommend. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm a big fan of Gundam. So anything Gundam, I could recommend, Gundam Wing and Gundam Seed are really great alternate universe Gundams, and then all the original Gundam I love watching. I think it's a little bit older, so the animation's not like as awesome as some stuff. Like Full Metal Alchemist has some great animation, so it's hard to compare one and then be like, oh, but you should also check out Gundam. So I generally, when I'm suggesting stuff like this, I try and decide who the person is that I'm suggesting to, what they're into, what kind of stuff they like or might like, and then sometimes I want to hear feedback from them, like, did you like that? Maybe this now. Maybe you should watch Cowboy Bebop, because that's a quick short anime. Some people really like longer animes. I like having, like, Naruto is like 500 episodes, Bleach is 300 and something episodes, Dragon Ball Z is 300 and something episodes with all the different Dragon Ball Z, GT, and so I like stuff like that where there's plenty of episodes, and I can like spend tons of time, and I can have it on in the background after I've seen it a few times or after I've gone through it once. Then it can be like Pokemon, and it's just over there on the TV, and I'm not paying attention, but it's on, its background noise. It's good. It gives me I don't know, something. It gives me something to listen to when I'm playing games, or when there's a lull in the moment. When you're waiting for a loading screen, or you're waiting for something, you can kind of just like, oh yeah, TV, you're over there, and you're still doing your thing. The Roku, personally for me, is a little annoying because you have to sit there and push play every time it gets to the end of an episode, in a 18-minute episode or something, 20-minute episode. You're doing that all the time when you're playing a game, that's 20-40 minutes, so you might have to do it in the middle of the game. And so sometimes it's like, oh, it's got real quiet in here, and then I'm like, oh, it's because things have paused or ended, got to the end of their thing. Or on the Roku, Pandora doesn't so much ask me like, are you still listening? I think on the PC, the computer, on Firefox at least, Pandora's always like, hey, are you still in the room? Because we don't want to play music to nobody. And I'm like, yes, I'm still here. Like, I have to tab out of whatever I'm doing and tab back to and that's a little annoying. But the Roku doesn't do that until much longer time on the Roku for Pandora. But Netflix, I wish Netflix just had a thing we could say, like, play this list, bam, and it would just keep playing, or play this show and it'll just keep playing, play. And it doesn't do that. When you play Netflix on like my computer with Firefox, it plays, I think, 2 episodes and then 3 minutes of the next episode, and it's like, are you still there? I'm still there. If I'm watching it, I'm watching it, If I've got it playing, I'm playing it for a reason, I want it to play, even if it's just background, I want it to play, and they make it a little bit difficult, a little bit just awkward on the Roku thing, which, I don't know, maybe that's something that they could change in a firmware update, or maybe it's just something that they don't want because they don't want people to just turn it on and leave the house and leave it playing and stuff, because it's bandwidth and it costs money eventually to someone somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I see why it's like that, but I would like an option to, like, play 5 of these in a row, play, at least let me pick an amount or several things, set it up in a playlist. Maybe they limit that to 5 or 10 episodes or something, depending on if it's 20 minutes or 40-minute episodes. I get that. But then, so I've also seen myself playing movies that I know, like Pirates of the Caribbean. I'll just have that playing over there on the TV because now I can just have that going. We lost cable, and I don't know, a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years in February, I think. So it's been a while. We haven't had cable in that long, and so that we initially got the Roku out there because it was like, we need something to watch TV, and that was for the living room. Now it's fine for my bedroom. It's like my TV doesn't do anything, and then I got a new video card, and my TV doesn't even like take my computer. I used to be able to drag over and use it as a second monitor and play anime and whatever over there, and play games and stuff. And I used to do that when I played World of Warcraft, and I'd have something over there. I got a new video card, and the new video card doesn't have, it's an older TV, so it doesn't have S-video, so I can't move anything over there. I have to have HDMI or newer TV. So, I mean, little minor complaint, with things that used to work totally fine, and then you get new equipment, and it's like, no, we don't support that anymore. I've had these problems with, like, Windows XP when I switched to Windows 7. So many things that used to work great on Windows XP that are just garbage on Windows 7. The Windows Movie Maker, Windows Media Player even has problems. Like, there's a thing where I like to have the playlist over up on the that side, the right side. If that's right, I don't even know. It's probably backwards in the video. I don't know. I like to have the little playlist on the side so I can see what's coming up. Or if I put something on random, I can see what it flipped to, and Windows Media Player from Windows XP worked just fine. Every time you loaded it up, that thing was on the side. It was little, now playing, and then that thing on the side worked great. You get to Windows 7, and all of a sudden it's like, now you have to actually go into the video, right-click on the thing, put it up there every single time you launch Windows Media Player. Annoying. It's a minor thing, but it's annoying. It's things that should have been in the program, that were in the program previously, and then you update to a newer version, 2, 4, 6, 8 years later, whatever it is. I don't even know how many years Windows 7 was out when I finally got it out. It's been out for 5 years now, right? I remember they said they'd stop, for Windows 7, they'd stop supporting, like, physical upgrade stuff. They'll still do virus protection and whatnot, but like advanced features is just not happening anymore with Windows 7. So, and they said they do that at the 5-year mark or something. So I was like, wow, it's been that long. I didn't even have it, Windows 7 that is. I didn't get Windows 7 right away when it came out because I was like, Windows Vista was garbage. XP was still better. XP to me is still better in many aspects because of the things that I could do, just throwing stuff on the other TV. Windows XP, my old TV, not even this old TV, my old TV, you could just take it and throw something up there and it would auto size it to the weird ratio that it is. It's a 5:4 TV because it's a true flat TV. So the aspect ratio is not 3:4 and it's not 16:9. It's a 5:4. It's a weird aspect ratio. But when I had Windows XP, it worked great. You could slide anything over there, it auto resize it and stuff. When I got Windows 7, the first thing I tried to watch, I was like, what is happening? what is wrong with this? All of a sudden, the TV started like blowing up the picture, and it couldn't figure out what size things were, and I kept trying different resolution. I kept trying to change the resolution of it. And then like, through weeks of research and searching and, like, flipping out and being like, why won't you work? I found out there was this thing that the XP used to do, like, called the auto rescan or auto resize or something. And Windows 7 didn't do it anymore. And I was like, I had the same video card. I had the same, everything was the same. I just had switched from XP to Windows 7. I was like, why would they change something like that that was totally functioning better and perfectly fine the way it was before, and then they change it to this? I was so mad. Like, it was like one of the most frustrating things when I switched to Windows 7, you know. And then Windows Movie Recorder and stuff just didn't work the same, doesn't do anything, doesn't have any of the features it did. So many things were like, why did I even switch to Windows 7? And now it's like, you have to have Windows 7 because so and so thing wants whatever, DX something. I'm drawing a blank. What's it called? I don't even know what it's called. I was going to try and look, and I'm like, I don't know. They want DirectX 11. Things want DirectX 11. Why was that such a hard thing to remember? And you know, that's something. I think Windows XP went up to DirectX 9 OC. Last I knew, and I remember trying to, like, find hacks for it to get DirectX 10, DirectX 11, then came out for Vista or 7, whichever one. I think we're still on DirectX 11, so, like, that's just an encoding thing for watching video and having video on your computer and stuff. So it's an important thing, but it was like, these features aren't supported, and you can't do this, and you can't play this video game without getting the newer thing. So it was eventually, I was just forced into getting Windows 7 because some games wanted it. I think one of the first ones that it's not even a PC game, it was Halo 2, was like, only works with DirectX 10 or DirectX 11, whichever one it was. And Halo 2, it's like, this isn't even a computer game. It's an Xbox game, Xbox original game, not 360 or Xbox One. And you're having an issue playing on a computer. Like, give me a break. And they were like, no, you need to get Windows Vista at least to play this game. And I was like, really? I don't think so, because I think you just want to, like, sell more copies of Microsoft's, you know, operating system. I think that's what it was, you know. So I remember being pretty mad about that. You know, Windows Live, whatever it was to play on that, was like, this is a waste of time. Like, all my love for Halo is gone. Trying to play it on PC was never worth it. Like, even I played Halo 1, the original Halo, on PC, and they had the custom edition where you could get custom maps and like user-made maps and cool things, you know, and cool textures, and it just was never Halo. It never played well on the computer I had, and I had not like an amazing computer back then. And I didn't have the budget for an amazing computer back then, but I had, like, a gaming computer. Like, I could play World of Warcraft on max settings back then. I could play whatever, you know, shooting games and stuff pretty well. I never play shooting games on max settings, competitive or otherwise, just because you get better playing with low settings. But you know, I could, for the solo player experience, for the solo play, you can turn up settings and whatever, and if you lag, it's not a big issue. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, features that just were there in the past that aren't there in the future, they annoy me, man. I mean, they annoy me when you switch to a new program. You're like, cool, I'm gonna get new things. Oh no, I don't. It's kind of sad. Or another thing that really makes me mad is, like, things that just stop being supported. Things that like, I have an iPod Touch, and I got the 3rd generation right as the 4th generation came out. If I would have waited another month, would have got the 4th generation. I didn't know how fast these things came out. At that point, I was just like, whatever, I'll get whatever one is the newest one. A month later, the next one comes out. I was like, I could have waited. And if I would have waited, I would have got the one with the camera, and I would have got the one with the microphone, the microphone, and it would have been basically a phone instead of just the iPod. And so I got the 3rd generation. I still use it. It's not broken. It's fine. But, you know, they've stopped supporting it. There's no apps for it. You can't find anything on the App Store. You can't find anything on iTunes for it. You try and, like, get things, games and stuff, and it's just like, nope, this isn't supported on your thing. You just better buy a new one. It's like, really? Because mine still works just fine. I know it's like 2 years old or whatever now, and I know you're on like I think iPod is only on the 5th generation, even though the phone's on the 6th. And I'm like, if I were to buy a 5th generation, the next day the 6th generation is gonna come out. I'm gonna be really mad. So I'm like, I'm gonna put it off. I'm gonna put it off because it's another one of those like $200 purchases. It's just useless junk. And the only reason I got the iPod was so that I would have something to listen to music with when I'm walking, headphones and wherever I'm going, because I walk a lot of places. I like to just walk around and have music, and it's relaxing. That's one of my de-stressing things, is I want to like go for a walk and I want music and I want it loud, and so the iPod, that's what it was for. It was because finding a CD player was impossible. 2 years ago, 2012, it was impossible to find a CD player. Who knew? You couldn't find an MP3. You couldn't find an MP3 CD player is what I used to have. Like almost through high school, I was like way more advanced than everyone else that had just regular CD players, and some people still have tape players and stuff. And I had these MP3 disc players. You could put like you put like 100 songs or something on a CD, and then it had the song tracks and stuff display on the screen. It was great. It was so great. So ahead of my time, but you can't find those things anymore, and I don't know if you could find them at all anymore. So I got to the point where I was like, I'm going through batteries and whatever, I'll just get an iPod. And then I wanted to get an iPod Touch. I was like, this is cool. I can play games on it and stuff too, and jailbreak it and put Pokemon and stuff on it, which I don't know, that never really worked. I think I played like 2 hours of Pokemon on it and I was done. I was like, nope, I need like the real controller buttons, not just touchscreen. It's too annoying, and it's just not fun to be on the phone trying to you're covering half the screen. It was just too clunky. It felt weird. But yeah, even that stuff, the jailbreaks and stuff, they stopped supporting the 3rd generation over a year ago. I haven't had an update for my iPod Touch in a year and a half, maybe. I don't know. There's like it's still on 4.2 iOS, and they're like, oh, we don't support anything past that. It's like, well, what? It's a 3rd generation. I don't understand. Yeah, complaints. Things like things that you shouldn't have to like replace. Back in the day, things would last you a long time. I mean, we had televisions in our house for 20 years. At one point, one of our TVs was like 20 years old. Another one was 10 or 15. And now you get something that's like, my grandma, we got her a TV. This was a couple years ago too, but we got her a TV and it didn't last even. I think it lasted a year right past the warranty, and it was like the end, Then it didn't work anymore. I was like, well, things don't last anymore, And she had before that a TV that had lasted her 20, 30 years, I don't know, forever, Things used to last, and they make them so bad now. They make them everything you buy is like made on this lifespan of like maybe 2 years. Most things are a year. Most things they're covered for a year, insured for a year or something, especially electronics and stuff. They're a year is pretty good. You can buy a few things on like Newegg or Amazon. You can find a few things that are 3-year warranty, and some things that are 5. When I try and buy like computer parts, like power supplies and stuff, I always try and find like EVGA power supplies have like I think there's some with a 3-year, but there's some with like a 5-year warranty, and those ones last, normally about that long too. So I never try and expect anything more than what the warranty says it will last, and I don't try and insure it or get anything, any of the, the bonus. I don't try and pay for, product replacement or anything. Or upkeep or anything like that for most things, because most of the time that's just a rip-off, because by the time it dies, it's 2 days after your warranty or whatever expired, so you've paid for the year or 2 years or whatever before, then it expires, then the thing breaks. That seems to be about how it always goes. So if it says it's good for 2 years, I know I'm good for about 2 years, and then I gotta buy a new part or something. It's the same thing with video cards. I try and buy like EVGA is like the brand for my video card that I really like and I've stuck with. I think the last 3 video cards I've had have been EVGA. and they're great. I mean, they're a great brand. I like NVIDIA cards, and so having those as my main my main brand, I like trying to get stuff like that. Like that's why I got the other. I built a computer for my mom, and I put a EVGA power supply and a couple other parts. I wanted to get her like an EVGA motherboard and stuff, but those are way too expensive for her price range. So it was like no. But they have the lower budget for power supplies. They have a 600 watt or 650 or something like that, and then they have a 750, 800, 1000 watts. And they're all those ones are all insured pretty well, warranted pretty well for at least the year or 3 years or whatever. So I know like those are good for that long. I'm not gonna have to replace it, but that's a part in a computer that if you're gonna buy power supply, you want to buy a little bit above and beyond what you really need in case you need more, and plus it'll just last longer if you don't have to use it at full max capacity. If you buy like a 400 watt power supply and you need like 350 watts or something, it's just gonna burn out, that much quicker. So getting one that is higher and getting one that is, says it'll last so many years, it will actually last long if you're not running it at like max, burning it out like crazy. So anyways, tangent on computer parts. I spent about a year and 3 months going to trade school for computer repair and stuff. So I'm like the person in my family that everyone comes to and they're like, oh, I need you to fix this and I need this and this and this and I want it to go faster and it's like, you're wanting magic out of me and all I can do is tell you that you need more RAM first and then you need more whatever and then you probably need a new power supply. It's like, I can tell you what parts you need. I can put the parts in, but you need to give me money and the time to do it and not just expect it to be done today. Like I just like magically type things on it and then it's hacked and it's all better. It's not, this isn't some weird Matrix world where I can just like make stuff up. So I've had so many people that come up and they just want me to do work. They want me to do something and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what you're expecting, but they expect way more than I am capable of. And then I'm like, okay, I know I can do it. I can put new parts and I can make it back to factory settings. I can make it whatever. But one, that's going to take time, and two, it might take money because you might need parts. You might need RAM, hard drive, something. It's normally when there's something that's so wrong. In my family, most of the time, it's actually more just that they have like loaded it down with viruses and stuff, and they have no idea. And they don't have virus scanners, and they don't have adware cleaners. They don't have anything. They don't have Spybot search and destroy. They don't have any programs to get rid of anything, and they've just bogged it down. So sometimes it's just that I just need to like reformat form and stuff. But they don't have the discs. They don't have their copy of Windows. They don't have anything, and it's just like buy a new computer. I don't know. Like it's really hard to like try and fix someone else's computer. With my computer, it's easy because I know what's wrong. I know when something's wrong. I know which parts are old and which ones are going to need to be replaced. Like I have a sound card in there that it came with my first computer that I built back in like 2005. And that sound card, whatever, it's been great. Like it's worked in every computer I've put in it, and it it came with Windows XP on a Windows XP system that I built. Windows XP 64-bit even, because I was trying that out for the one of the beginning tests of OSs when I was trying to like see what works best, Windows XP or Windows XP 64, Windows Vista, no, Windows XP was the best for many years. The XP 64 was ridiculous. Anyways, so the sound card, it still works. I mean, it's great. It's a creative sound card. It works great. It does everything. Has worked great on it, except for when I switched to Windows 7, another Windows 7 thing, all the profiles, all the equalizers, everything that you could change on the sound card settings stopped working. Sounds great, still sounds great on everything. I just have to use, like if I use iTunes or Windows Media Player or something, I have to use the sound equalizers on those to change the bass and stuff up and down for different, I have different preferences. For like depending on what I'm doing, if I want it on background music or something, I don't want a lot of bass. I just want like the noise going on. So a less bass thing, or sleep music. When I have sleep music on, I want to have like iTunes set up to where it's just the sound, less bass again. And so I have all these settings that I used to be able to just do bam on the sound card, and that all stopped working when I switched from XP to Vista, and it was one of those maddening things. It was so upsetting because it was like, this has worked great for years, and the sound card still works. It's still, everything sounds great. When I use Spotify, I've got to use a equalizer on there because everything just sounds flat. If I don't use an equalizer, it sounds like garbage. But with the equalizer, ow, I hit my desk. With the equalizer, everything sounds great. Volume and everything is awesome. It's a good sound card. It was a good quality sound card. But it's something I know is in my computer. It's the oldest part in this computer. Everything else has been upgraded 2-3 times, and that still works. When is it gonna go out? I don't know. Today it was acting funky. It might be acting funky right now. The mic on this is a USB mic anyway, so it's not even going through the sound card. So my headphones pick up from there, but that's about it. So yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't affect anything. When I'm recording videos and stuff, it doesn't even go to the sound card. It just goes to open broadcaster and stuff. So even if the video or the sound card is old, there is this onboard sound on the motherboard that I could use if I really have to. But yeah, it's like one of those things like, do I replace this? And I've actually bought sound cards since I don't know, it's been 5-6 years. I bought some sound cards and I was like, let's see how this one works. And it was like, no, sound quality was garbage. It was so bad, and I ended up putting it in a spare computer that my mom was using, and it was just like, no, I can't change from this like good 24-bit sound card to a 16-bit card that's just garbage. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's probably gonna die soon, but when it does, I know what happened. I know what's wrong. I know which part it is and what I need to change. I understand that. With family that has no computer background or knowledge or wisdom at all, when it comes to them and they want something done, they're just like, fix it. And because I went to school for it, apparently I'm a magician and I can just do that. It's not how it works. Most of the stuff that I learned was Windows 2000 and a little bit of Windows XP, and most of what I learned was just parts and how to change them. It wasn't really like the in-depth how to fix and get rid of viruses and stuff like that. Stuff you kind of learn how to do it, or how to like research what's wrong with something, or like what virus something has. You learn how to do that. You can learn that in the classes that I took, but then because stuff is always changing and it's always the newest virus, the newest thing, the newest malware, the newest whatever, keylogger, whatever you get on your computer, those things, they're always changing. So you'd have to always be learning. I do have to still be in school to keep up with some of the more advanced things that are always changing. I've heard of like weird router viruses. It's not a virus, but it's like a router something, where like your router firmware is just not secure, and so that your network, whatever you have on your computer at your home through your router, is getting watched or can be watched by someone, or they can pick up the packets and see what you're doing and stuff. And I was like, I never even heard of that when I was in school. Like, this is stuff that's like, if I wasn't like actively looking for now, I wouldn't have even seen. If I wasn't like actively following whatever it was a magazine that turned into a website, or a magazine's website that still like gives advice for computer people, nerds. I don't even remember what it was. It was just like an article that pops up because I like their website or something on Facebook. And I was like, what? Like routers? It's like every router with blah, 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 something has this problem. Like, you probably have this problem with your computer right now, and you didn't even know it. And it's been going on for 5, 6, 7 years. And it's like, what? I didn't know that. Like, and I find out these things, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's no way that anyone in my family that's not computer savvy would have even known that they had an issue, or had someone, watching their computer, or their credit card numbers, or whatever. It's scary stuff. It's a bit scary. Um, yeah. Enough the computer tangent. Let's move on. What have I been playing? So video games is a part of this conversation because I normally I change a little bit of what I've been playing based on like what's come out. Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare, I've been playing a bit, and I think I talked about that in the last vlog too because it just came out when that one came up. So I've played a little bit more. I like the jump packs and stuff, the fast movement. When I'm not having problems, if I have actually, I found out I think LOL Replay I have up normally because I play League of Legends. LOL Replay records replays and stuff of what you've played in games. If I have that up when I play Call of Duty, I end up having issues. I end up having the maps that won't load, and I went on the forums and other people. I don't think anyone else said LOL Replay was causing this issue, but there was people that were like, you know, every time I get to this map, blah blah blah, it won't load. It gets stuck at synchronizing, and this seems to be mostly a PC problem. I don't think Xbox or PlayStation people have had these issues, but for PC users, it's like, dang, this sucks. Like, you know, they're all, you know, come on, Sledgehammer, fix your game. You know, Steam, make it work. What's your problem? Blah blah blah. And I don't know. At first, I was thinking it was like a hosting issue, like the host and you are on a different NAT type and something. That's what I think that's what I said in the last video, or at least one of my Call of Duty videos. I was like, I think it's like a host thing. And then I started turning off LOL Replay before I go in and play. And I remember, I don't remember if it was Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2, but I had this issue with if I had fraps or if I had, something like if I had something, I think it was Ventrilo. If I had there was a little overlay thing that would say like so and so's talking, and then it would like light up when whoever's in the channel was talking. It was like green or red. And if I had this Ventrilo overlay, if I had that going during, I think it was Modern Warfare 3 for that one. But if I had it open, the game would it would be like Punkbuster and like crash. Maybe that was even before Modern Warfare 3. Maybe that was Battlefield 2142 with the Ventrilo overlay thing. But I think Fraps was the other thing that I had issues with during Modern Warfare 3. And then Black Ops 2, I remember there was an issue where like if you had two monitors and you had the second monitor on when you tried to start up Black Ops 2, it would just crash over and over. I don't remember if it was just the video card that I had. Like I had a GeForce 8800 at the time, like a EVGA, like super clocked card, and I remember finding something that was like, if you have the other monitor on, just turn the other monitor off, hit Windows key P, and it'll, you know, change like from projector to dual screen to something to like there's like 4 options. And I was like, okay, I was like, that's a cool shortcut to know. And I was like, I already knew how to turn off the other monitor, but then I was like, that's the problem I'm having. Dang. So I've actually not had very many problems with Advanced Warfare as long as I turn off like this replay thing and I don't use fraps or anything. If I don't try and record, everything runs fine. If I try and record, things look like garbage, and I don't know if that's a open broadcaster thing. I don't know. This video is going to be up in a little bit. I'm like, hope none of this is like pixelated and just blur. But video games, like since I did the Need for Speed thing, any of my local recordings look like garbage. Streams and stuff still look about the same, at least the ones that I tried, but local recordings have looked like garbage for me, and I don't know if that was an open broadcaster problem, different change in like the encoding or something. I don't know what happened. I've tried to change settings and stuff from like 720p video thing to 1080p, and I've tried to get the videos to just, you know, do a couple sample videos to see like what I can get, and most of them turn out looking like garbage, like real pixelated, real bad. And I haven't figured out how to fix it, and so I don't know. Hopefully this video doesn't look bad, but yeah. So more Advanced Warfare, and I'd like to get more videos up. But those last couple videos I did, I think I did 2 of them, and I only put one of them up because one of them looked pretty bad. Like, it was like you couldn't tell what was going on in it, and I was like, I'll just redo it. And then the second one I did, I put up, and I was like, I did the same thing kind of for Need for Speed. Like, I did a video, and I was like, nope, this looks bad. I'll change it to 1080p and stuff for Need for Speed, and I did, and I put that video up anyways, and it was like, it just didn't look good. Like, it looked really artifacty, and, you know, it's like the local recording shouldn't do that. Normally I have that problem with streaming if I have, like, bandwidth issues or something, or it tries to, like, downscale or something when it goes up to Twitch, but for local recording it shouldn't be doing that. So I don't know, maybe I need to use something different than Open Broadcaster. I didn't use Open Broadcaster for local recording for the first, I don't know how many months that I used it. I used the other thing. Whoops. I don't think I even have it on my desktop anymore. What was that other thing called? The Twitch thingy? Streaming thingy? Yeah, I used that. The other program. Drawing a blank. I used that for a long time for my local recordings, and I wasn't using it for streaming at all because I didn't have the paid version. And I was like, well, I'm not paying for it to get, you know, MP3s and AAC codecs. I was like, no. Like, if they want to be a jerk and make me use FLAC or whatever the codec they're having you use, it was like, whatever. I don't care. FLV, whatever the codec was that they were trying to make you use for the audio, it was like, this is garbage. I'm not paying to get a better version. I will find something that's freer, and Open Broadcaster has served that purpose of being free and open source, and I like open source stuff. So, I mean, I like any program that's willing to like share their code and make it something that can be free. I'm all about that because there's no, you know, I would say there's no need to charge for programs, but there kind of is. There kind of is for like advanced features. But I think, you know, just your basic general like recording and stuff, that should be something that everyone should be able to get access in. I mean, it's 2014. There should be there should be easily you know, programs available to record and do streaming and stuff. So I don't know. Not much to say on that. Other things. What have I been playing? I don't know. Gotta look at Steam now. Steam's doing their holiday sale thing starting today, tomorrow, 15th, Monday. So they've already got the thing up with the gyms and stuff, which is weird. There hasn't really been anything on Steam that I've been playing other than Advanced Warfare. I'm trying to look at my games list. I mean, I tried to play more Gauntlet. I got a controller and I was playing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit because every now and then I need something that I can relax and play. So that's been something I jumped on a couple days in a row. Gauntlet and okay, and then so I got into the alpha for Heroes of the Storm. So been saving this for end of the video conversation, but Heroes of the Storm, I got into the alpha 2 weeks ago, I think, and they had like their like second rollout of like alpha keys, and they'll probably have another rollout of beta keys at some point. And I got into this. I've got into, I think, a lot of the Blizzard betas I've actually got into. I don't know. It's not because I'm like YouTuber or anything. They wouldn't even know that. But I know I got into StarCraft 2 and Cataclysm betas, and I never really did much in Cataclysm beta. I probably should have. StarCraft 2 beta I did try and make maps, like is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to like play the game, but I was never any good at it, so I didn't stick with it. And then I was in was I in Diablo's beta? I got invited to the beta for Diablo 3's expansion, but I don't know. I was in Hearthstone beta. I've been in a lot of their betas. I've been on the test runs and stuff in WoW when I used to play that and stuff, so I'm normally not too surprised or like excited about getting into one of their betas, because you know, it's the same thing. You know, you have a game, it works, it's generally functional, most people can play it. If you do have issues, you should tell them on the forums, and I try to. If I have like an issue or error or something, I'll be like, this is what I got, this is my computer, this is my stuff, this is what I was doing when it happened. I try and do that. I don't know if that helps you get invited to these betas and alpha testing stuff, but so I got in Hero Storm. Um, my first impressions of the game are it's very relaxed, very casual. Like it's not a hardcore game, and I had a guy try and argue this with me on Skype last night. He was like trying to make pre-made games and like only with Skype and blah blah blah. And we're like, dude, it's really casual. There's no items in the game, so like the in-game progression for a MOBA is normally you go kill creeps, kill people, get gold, buy items. That's normally the progression. This game instead, you have a team-based leveling, so your whole team levels from 1 to 20 something. At 20 you get your last point. So you get, before you play, the first time you play a character, you get two choices. You get column A and column B, we'll call them. At level 4, at level 1, level 4, level 8, 7, I don't know what it is. Level 10, I want to say it's level 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 17, and 20. So like those levels approximately. I could be wrong, don't quote me. You get like a column A, column B. You get a choice of, increase skill Q, W, or E, or increase skill Q, W, E, or increase, pick up. There's a little pickup thing on the ground that drops every now and then. There's a little green heart thing that gives you health, and whoever in your lane gives them a little health too if you're with someone. And so there's a thing that if you pick up, every 3 of those, you get more mana regen. If you pick up, and that adds up throughout the game. And so there's little things that you can pick, and there's one like for a support character, Lily is the little panda girl. She has one that's like you have to unlock things. So there's one that you have to unlock to get to that is a bribe, and it's go to a mercenary camp and bribe them after 20 CS creeps kills in a lane. Then you go to a mercenary camp and you can bribe them, and then instead of having to fight them and kill them, you just take over their camp and they go. What they do is they leave the camp and then go attack the other team's gates or towers or whatever. I mean, there's a little bit of like needed teamwork if you're gonna like go and like swamp the camps and go from one camp to the next camp, and like because they're all on a timer and stuff, the jungle timers and stuff. You have to kind of know what those are, and it says what they are right there. If you go to the camp, it says like there's 2 minutes and 30 seconds before this respawns. There's 2 minutes before this respawns, and so you can kind of just go around and like keep circling. And if one team is actually good at going and getting those camps or collecting the other, there's like a map objective. Sometimes it's gather the tribute. You have to gather 3, and then the other team's minions are weakened to 1 health and their towers are disabled. Then there's one where you have to collect the skulls, and when you collect the skulls, something, whatever. And then there's one where you gather gold coins, doubloons, whatever they call them. You give those to the pirate ship, and then the pirate ship shoots cannonballs at the other team's towers or something with your minions attacking and stuff. So, map-based objectives that buff you doing, progressing through the game. Now, it sounds kind of advanced, but it's super easy, and it's really easy. Like, if you've played any MOBAs, Dota 2 or League of Legends or even Smite or some of the other Heroes of Storm, or not Heroes of Storm, Heroes of New Earth, that one. If you played some of these, then you'll probably get the basics. You'll get the QWE and R for an ultimate. You'll get it's super easy skills to use, like nothing's super hard. You click on a target to do stuff, and like a lot of the things is just it heals someone who's in the group, the lowest person in the group near you, or you have assassins, you have supports, you have melee characters, so you don't have to buy items. So like most of the melee characters get pretty tanky, most of the range characters end up doing a lot of damage, most of the supports get a lot of healing by the end of the game, and you just kind of, as you progress, everyone on the team is getting stronger at the same time, and the other team, if they've been doing objectives and stuff, is getting strong at the same rate or faster or slower based on if they're taking the camps, or if they've actually had someone around the lane for CS together, the XP. I don't know quite how that works. This guy was trying to tell me that, like, dude, it's so complicated, you just don't understand. And I was like, dude, I've been playing League of Legends for 3-4 years. I get it. Like, I get it. I just don't think this is so complex and so hard. And he ended up trolling us and like raging and leaving the game, and like everyone else was like, did that really just happen? Like, he was so like adamant about how hardcore this game is, and then he was just like fed up and just left us. We're like, yeah, he probably got his account suspended on League of Legends, and he was just over here to just troll people or something, you know? It's like, he probably isn't very good. And people in like, there was like a general chat channel, like general one, kind of like how WoW has the general and WoW and trade and whatever chats, and so there was like a channel that he was asking for more people, and some people were just like, ah, dude, you're such a bronze league something, blah blah blah, you know, being all crazy about it. And I was like, I think that's probably my warning not to play with this guy. And I'd already joined the group and got on Skype, and I was like, I'll stick around, I'll see how this goes. And I was like, yeah, this guy, he definitely pulled a fast one. I mean, he tricked us a little bit, thinking like he was good. He called out, you know, like, go to this lane, you go to this lane, you go to this, we're going to a team fight, everyone go here. He did that all right, coordination wise and stuff. Then in the end, he left us because he was mad that we weren't listening, or we didn't do something, or the other team got an advantage over us. It's like, it's a team. Heroes of the Storm is a team-based game where you do have to have teamwork and coordination and stuff, and I get that part. I totally see that. I've played a few solo games, and I get the idea. You can't carry the game. You can't just be like this like crazy solo. You have to work with your team. But, you know, some people put this like emphasis. There's no way you could do it in a pub group, pickup group. You couldn't do it. You know, you can't be no solo hero. You can't, but it's not. There's nothing complex about this game other than, you know, being at the right place at the right time and having your team actually go there with you, and the other team have like 3 people go instead of all 5. Will make you win a fight. I mean, it's not that hard. Like, that's the concepts. It's like it's very basic stuff, and I think anyone that's played League of Legends or Dota will pretty much figure most of that stuff out on their own, and then it'll just be a base of, do you play with friends, or, you know, are you gonna pug it, you know? And I don't know. I play a lot of games like this, even though it's a social game solo, but then we'll like find friends out of it. You know, the people that do well, I will play with them again. Or like this guy was asking for people, you know, with Skype and stuff, and I ended up joining his group. I thought he'd be a little bit more professional than he was. He was definitely not very professional, but that's just how things go. But, you know, so far for this game, for Heroes, I think, like, it's fun. I think there's a little bit of progress where, like, you get a little bit of gold for leveling your out-of-game level thing system, and then you get a little bit of, like, you unlock skill sets, like your advanced skill sets, and your second ultimate, and your ultimate, like, you get a choice between one of 2. At level 10, you get your ultimate in the game, so at level 10, you get to pick, like, for Lily, she gets a heal, which is a big AoE thing of barrels spinning around getting people drunk. That's her first ultimate, and then her second one is a dragon that does damage or something to people. So, like, you start out, you can only choose the one when you haven't leveled her, and when you've leveled her to 4 out of game, the out of game progression, then you can get the second ult, which is a dragon thing, and you get all of her other skills. Maybe it was level 3 and you get the second ult, but and it's kind of like that for all the things. There's like level 1 through 10 for the champion. You have to get to level 4 to unlock all their skills and abilities and the different progression trees. So basically, you're gonna have column A and column B to choose from the first time you play them. You get to level 2 or 3, then you get column C, and then if you get them to level 4, you get column A, B, C, D, and sometimes E, depending on the level. Not all levels have 5, but some levels do have 5 choices, and then like level 10 only has the 2 choices. You get the main ult and the second ult. So you know, and then like level 20 has like 5 different things. One of them for most people is like, when you die, you don't die. You get a Guardian Angels thing, and then that has a 180-second cooldown. So there's things like that are kind of there. Then there's some like use like item use items like 1 through 5, and some of them are like call down a totem that will heal your party, or give you extra attack speed, or give something like that. Yeah, it's there's a lot of things to learn and like to figure out which things are the best, but it's pretty casual, and you can kind of at a glance, if you know anything about like League of Legends, you can figure it out real quick. Like you can figure out like, oh, this sounds like a good thing, and then sometimes you might try it and it doesn't work, and then the next game you just level up the different way. So one of the different things too is, instead of like going into a lobby and then being like, hey, I'll play this or I'll play this, you can actually just say, I'm gonna play Lily, or I'm gonna play the Demon Hunter chick from Diablo 3, and then it finds a party that it puts you in. If you're like solo queue, it's just like, here's a party, bam, now you're gonna play the game. And so you get someone that's playing Diablo, and someone that's playing Stitches from WoW, and you'll get someone that's playing the Elite Tauren Chieftain, one's a guitar thingy. And it, because you change your skills in game, like you have your QWE by default at level 1, you have all of your abilities, but then you change like how much they do or which ones you improve by playing the game and getting to level 1, 4, 7, 10, 20. So because it's like that, you can kind of be like, well, we need this, we need more healing, so I'm going to level up my heal if you're a support kind of character. Or we need, for the damage characters, I feel like it's just like, which skill do you want to use more? Do you want to gain health back for the Demon Hunter? It's like, do you want to gain health back with your Q? Do you want to make your Q cost half the mana? That's like your first two choices at level 1. And then you have like, do you want your auto attacks to give you 10% health back? Or do you want to do 1.5% extra damage to heroes? Was, I think, the level 4 or 7 thing. Do you want to do, or no, one of them is every third attack does 50% more damage. So it's like 70, 70, 100 damage. 70, 70, 100 damage, something like that. So there's skills like that. You're going to have to learn by playing, or, testing out, and you can play the bot mode. There's a game mode just to play against co-op versus bots, just like League of Legends. And then there's the player versus player mode, and then there's custom games, and there's no ranked games yet, but there's a thing for it that says like not available in alpha, so I'm guessing that's in beta. The level progression, again, like once you get to level 4 with a character, then you've unlocked all the different abilities, so then you can play them. You get to level 5, it gives you like 500 gold towards buying like another champion or something, and then level 6 gives you like their little avatar player card thing that you can use, which I haven't quite got to on anyone yet, because that next level takes like a lot more XP, so you have to play more games than you've had to play to get from like 1 to 4. Doesn't take that long, couple games, 2-3 games sometimes. Then to get to level 5, you get the gold, and then level 6 you get the avatar, and then you get like a different color for your mount that you use or something, a different thing. And I think I want to say the 7th or 8th level is then an option in the player like skin color, costume color. You can go from like being Lily, being pink, to being blue, and then green, or one of the other colors. Green's one of them. But so you get different things from leveling up and playing them more. So it kind of shows off like, you have played this so many times, and that's an easy way to do kind of a progression system, and I think I like that part. But it's a little bit too basic. Like, if you just got like recolored skins in League of Legends for like Vigar, for playing him for like 100 games, people would probably have incentive to play someone like strictly for like 70 games in a row. They're like, I've already got 30 games on Vigar, I'll play another 70 on him. I don't know. I don't feel like you should make someone stay in like one character but I think Heroes of the Storm kind of does that. Like, it's like you can play the characters that are free this week, or you can play the ones that you've bought. At first, you're not going to have very many, so you're going to be playing, like, which you get. The Demon Hunter, I think you get for free, and then I bought Lily, was the first one I bought because she's 2,000 gold, and that's the cheap gold. There's like 2,000 gold, 4,000 gold, 7,000 gold, 10,000 gold, and I think the newest champion is Jaina Proudmoore, is 15,000 gold, I think. I don't know if those are going to change as they add more heroes and stuff, but that's where it is right now. So you get, for getting to like level 4 for your avatar, you get 2,000 gold or something. And for getting level 8 on it, you get 2,000. Level 10, you get 2,000, and then so you get 2,000 gold several different times. So it's like, well, I can buy all the 2,000 gold champions, and then I'll at least have one from this game and one from that. And then there's daily quests that come up that are like, if you play a StarCraft hero for 2 games, you'll get 200 gold. Or if you play an assassin for 3 games, you'll get 300 gold. So there's things to make it so you get more gold. So I think that's good in the progression system, and it makes you play something out of the box. But then, again, you can just, once you own Lily or the character that you like, you can just be like, I'm gonna play Stitches every single game forever, or Diablo, or whoever. And I think that's kind of weird because it just finds you a group and says you're playing with this group, and then you're that character because you picked it, and you picked that all before you get to a group. So that's a little bit different and weird, but it's all right. Anyways, I've rambled on about this for a while. I'll probably end up having a Heroes of the Storm game play video up at some point, and I hope to show some of the progression and stuff in that. I wanted to talk about it here just to give like an opinion on it. I kind of like, and I see what they're doing. It feels too casual for me. So it's not going to be something I'm going to play. It's not like, now I'm never going to play League of Legends again, I'm switching to this game. That's not happening. Like, League of Legends still the game that I've sunk tons of RP money and time and dedication into. I've played League of Legends a lot, thousands of games of League of Legends, I think I'll probably be sticking with it. I haven't had as many games. I seen someone that was in I think it was like Noob Chat, the Noob Chat lobby in League of Legends that has, I think, 2,500 normal games played. I was like, that is I'm at like 900 or 700 and something normal games. I don't know what I'm at anymore. But I was like, they have 25 or 2,600 games. I was like, that's a lot. And considering every game's like 20 to 50 minutes, 20 to an hour and 20 minutes is a really long game. That's a lot of time. They put in a lot of dedication, a lot of time into that. They play more than I do, and I was like, and they don't have a ranked status, so like they obviously aren't playing ranked out of that. So it's all normal games. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot to not even be ranked. Like, I think mine, if you hover over me in League of Legends, it says I've played, or I've won 18 ranked games, because I don't play that many games. I think I have 26 ranked games right now for the last season, and I haven't really played the preseason much. I played one game preseason. So it shows that because that's what I am. Because I am ranked, it shows that instead of shows how many normal games I have. And I'm like, someone that has 2,600 games and not even, it doesn't even show that they're bronze or silver or something. That's crazy. They really like normals. And I think it adds Team Builder to your normal games now, so I think that's why. I'm not sure what mine's at, 700 or it should be. I want to say it's like 700 normals, but then like 100 and something if you count Team Builder and something. I don't know, not threes, not ARAM. Those are on their own counts, but even my ARAM is like 140 or something wins and however many losses now. I don't know. I was positive like 10. It was like 140 over 130, but I think that's changed. So yeah, when you have that many games committed to a game, you're probably gonna stick with it at least for a while. So I will be. Anyways, this video is about an hour long, so if you've sat through the whole thing, I thank you guys. I appreciate all the views, all the likes, all the comments that I get. I appreciate anyone that shares my videos, and it means a lot to me, and I will try and get another vlog out, you know, in the next month, post-Christmas probably. There might be some up before that for Heroes of the Storm or other games. And, you know, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good week, and have fun out there playing your games, and have fun for Christmas, whatever you're doing. And see you guys next time.